Number 2, by unanimous vote, to appoint Nellie Marquez to the principal position at Guy Emmanuel Elementary. And number 3, by unanimous vote, to appoint scaring me. Syed Shan to the principal position at Alvarado Elementary School. I will now go ahead and turn it over to Vice President Kumar for procedural items.
Thank you, President Gonzalez. Will the audience please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. May I have a roll call, please?
Here.
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 May I have a motion and second to approve tonight's agenda? Go over again. Okay. May I have a motion and second to approve tonight's agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
All right, back to you, President Gonzalez.
Is there anybody who would like to read the land acknowledgement?
I can do
Okay.
that.
Trustee Rafay?
We want to open up this meeting by acknowledging with respect and love that the land we are on today is the traditional ancestral homeland of the Ohlone Chochenyo First People. We recognize and thank the Ohlone people as the original stewards of this land. Indigenous people must not be spoken about in past contexts as if they left on their own accord, when the real causes were white supremacy, manifest destiny, and U.S. colonization. By recognizing we stand on the occupied indigenous territory of the Ohlone people, we recommit ourselves to listen to Native leadership and stand in solidarity with people struggling against systems of oppression throughout the world, past and present.
Okay, thank you, Trustee Rafay. Okay, moving on to public comments. The microphones seem to be working. That's pretty scary. Are there any blue cards for topics? Any blue cards for topics that are not on the agenda?
Yes, we have 13 blue cards.
Okay.
First blue card is Jujar Singh.
Okay, you have 2 minutes.
Respected members of the school board, good evening. It's good to see a lot of you again, especially you, Superintendent Thompson. It's good to see you again, sir. As many of you know, my team and I have been coming for every semester over the last 3 years. We either come to thank you or we come to ask you to do more. Today, thankfully for you, we have come to thank you. I'm very thankful for your collaboration in the past. You have helped to deliver to our program's needs in the campus community and our local community. A lot of healthy changes happened on campus since our program started, and we hope to make it better. My name is Jujar Singh. I'm a mental health professional and an academic researcher in the field of psychology. I am a kid of the neighborhood. I grew up a few blocks away. and I'm very much involved in our shared community. I'm also the Bay Area Regional Director of the CARE program, which is a substance prevention program funded by the state of California through our taxpayer dollars. We are a statewide program with teams of high schoolers across the state, including James Logan High School. We have had a team of 10 high schoolers here for the last 3 years, and this year's team is present here today. This team is focused on harm reduction, peer education, and mental health collaboration within the student body at James Logan High School. I'm so thankful that Superintendent Thompson allowed for Narcan training to come on campus. This has been a request of our program for the last 2 years, and and this request was fulfilled, and I'm very much thankful for that, because I'm talking about Narcan, the opioid response training that prevents a drug overdose from happening. This training has been given to our students in the health program for the last 3 years, along with CPR training and mental health training. But in the last year, Narcan kits were brought to our James Logan High School campus. They were brought into 3 different locations, and Principal Polk even held a Narcan awareness assembly. So this is tremendous work that we have collaborated on together, and I'm very much thankful to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, our next speaker.
Next up is Simran Gill.
Hello, everyone. I am Simran, an 11th grader at James Logan. We are a part of a health and wellness program called CAT. CAT make sure everyone is safe. In this internship, we have been doing community engagement, CPR training, Narcan training, site visits to health clinics, and collaboration with local health organizations in these past 3 years. I would like to thank the school board for always hearing us, and specifically the superintendent for collaborating with our principal and bringing Narcan to our campus. We would love it if you guys would collaborate more. We are trying to make a change on our campus. We are also trying to help with mental health awareness and harm reduction. I would also like to thank the principal for working with the superintendent and bringing Narcan to our campus as well, and for offering training to everyone on campus during Red Ribbon Week. That's a huge deal to us, and we really appreciate it, especially since we were the first students certified with Narcan on campus. I would like to inform you guys that we've been conducting community research and that my peers will be presenting the data that is very important to our campus and our community health. Thanks again for your support and alliance towards a healthier community, and hopefully you will find our research very helpful. Thank you for a wonderful and collaborative year.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Next up is Jagrup Sandhu.
Hi, my name is Jagrup Sandhu, and I'm a senior at James Logan High School. I'm involved in several student organizations on campus, including our CAD program, which focuses on mental health, community health, and harm reduction. A lot of faculty were open to collaborating with our research, and I hope that the school board will be open to hearing about our data and acting on it too. After conducting our school-wide faculty-wide survey, the results show 78% of our school faculty report that the frequency of drug education on campus is little to severely little. It shows that most teachers believe that drug education on campus is very minimal, some even calling it severely little, with 78% of our high school educators reporting that health education is little. I'm concerned about how we can work to solve this education problem. Our CARE program only educates us outside of school, so our team is adequately educated to understand substance use and mental health. But 78% of teachers report that the rest of campus is not getting the health education that they need, and I hope that we can change that for the future. Also, our survey showed that only 19% of school faculty believe drug education to be satisfactory on campus. This shows a smaller fraction of teachers are satisfied with the drug education on campus. Our research also shows that 95% of faculty agree that drug usage is negatively affecting student health and learning outcomes. This shows that most faculty believe that drug usage is currently affecting student health negatively. Additionally, 78% of faculty believe that they should receive additional substance-related training beyond what they currently have. This shows an overwhelming amount of faculty who believe that they should receive additional training on substances and drug education. This data we collected since the beginning of the school year is important because it shows the need for health education, substance prevention, and community health. This data stresses the importance of having further health training on our campus, and we hope you can change that for the betterment of our campus in the future. Thank you for a wonderful and collaborative year. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker.
Next up is Varnik Kar.
Hi, my name is Varneet Kaur. As a representative from James Logan High School, we make up Alameda County chapter of the California state-funded substance prevention program known as the CARE Youth Health and Wellness Program. Over the past 2 years, our dedicated group of 10 students, including myself, have not only woven our presence into the fabric of James Logan High School, but have also embraced the spirit of collaboration by partnering with the school administration, the district, school board, and local health clinics. Through the tabling and surveying, we strive to foster a culture of well-being and substance prevention, nurturing and healthier tomorrow for our fellow students. Through our efforts, we aspire to establish a collaborative relationship with both our school administration and board members. Our research is valuable to the community because it provides valuable insights on the effects of consequences of different substances. It will help us develop prevention and treatment strategies to support those struggling with addiction. It's crucial for us to create a healthier and safer community for everyone. Our research is to reduce the stigma surrounding addictions and promote a supportive and empathetic community for those in need. I hope our numbers show you the need for more health education on campus and how our school facility feels similarly towards the students' health. Our reported data shows a majority agreement of school faculty towards the severity of substances use on campus, the need for more campus education, and the need for facility training on campus. I hope that you can listen to us and collaborate on this effort to make our campus community healthier and safer. Thank you for your time, and we hope to work with you more if you're willing to collaborate. Thank you for your support and alliance this school year.
Thank you. Okay, our next speaker.
All right, next up is Zhao from the adult school.
Good evening. My name is Xia Xiao. I have a New Haven Adult School student and a mother for 2 children. Thank you very much for providing free English learning opportunities. New Haven ESL only has morning and class and evening classes. Could you provide some online learning researches that we can start after class? For example, Lexia, Blunt English, and Examiner grammar. They are good for listening, pronunciation, speaking, and grammar. Even in the same class, our class level is different. Some students are good reading, but better listening. Some students are good writing, but better speaking. Compared with children, it is much more difficult for adults to learn languages. Teachers need to take care of every student and need to give more equal and patience than other teachers. On the other hand, we students are eager to learn well. We are not a business. We want to find a job to make life better. We also want to help our children with their homework. Thank you, my teacher. Oh, sorry. Thanks my teacher's help. I'm confident I found that I can learn English well. I hope that this district can improve more money into the other school. This helps us want to be better people by studying hard. Thank you, Leslie. Thank you.
Next speaker. Thank you.
Next is Jenny, and Jenny, I'm not sure about your last name, is Rhines, I think, to speak on the adult school.
Good evening, school board members. My name is Jenny Meng, and I'm a student at the adult school. Our teachers are very passionate, responsible, and considerate. I'm studying to get a high school diploma. My teacher is Mr. Osman. He is active and enthusiastic. Every morning, he always goes into the classroom with a big smile on the confident footsteps. When I study U.S. history, I don't understand how to look the map every day. I ask him to help me. He is always patient with me. Even tonight, if I had a question and emailed him for help, and he'd like to reply it and help me. I'm sorry to interrupt him. And my another teacher is Miss Burrell. This one, yeah. She teaches college prep. I feel honored and lucky to have such a good class and teacher. We read the books together and discuss them. Though we come from different countries, we share our different cultures, histories, geographies. Fortunately, Mr. Burrell always encourages and supports us to show our different opinions. Last Friday, we went to the museum in San Francisco, so we knew more about the U.S. customs and history, not only from books, but also outside our class. We went hiking and had lunch and had study together. We are friends and family. There is a photo on the school wall, and it says, in our community, our strength is our diversity. I'm sorry, can I continue?
Oh,
Ah.
time's up.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
There, our next speaker.
Next is Maricel Bernardino.
Hi, good evening, everyone. And school board of members, I'm Maricel Bernardino. I'm student of New Haven Adult School. I'm studying here on the front of you because I want to support for our teachers. Teachers are not just instructors, they are role models who shape the minds of future generations. Please increase their salaries, offer that tangible to way recognize and honor the invaluable contribution they make to society. This school is very important to me. I learned to speak the English language here too much more. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. There, our next speaker.
Next speaker is Ana Roque.
Good evening, board member and everybody. My name is Ana Roque. I am from El Salvador. At 2010, I went to this adult New Haven school for learning English. I had a very good teacher, and one day a lady offered training of computing and training for caregiver. I finished this training and I get a certificate. After that, I will work for care elder people and children with special abilities too. For this reason, I am here now for support this adult New Haven school and the programs because are very important for all people need learning English. And we know this school had a pathway, get a career, a college. Please continue support at this school and the people learning English, computing, and motivated for go to get a study, a career, and the college. I am happy to see you, my teacher for computing today, and appreciate for your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker.
Next speaker is Elsa Roque.
Good evening, everyone. I am a student at adult school. My name is Elsa Roque from El Salvador. My first language is Spanish. I go into adult school because I want to learn English to be able to communicate better. My goal is to get my GED and high school diploma. Please support the teacher, the adult
school by giving them a fair contract and offer competitive pay and attract more teachers to come work at the adult school teacher. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Our next speaker.
Stephanie Burrill.
Good evening. My name is Stephanie Burrill, and I'm a proud teacher at the adult school. I teach intermediate ESL and college prep in the high school diploma program. While adult education might seem apart from the K through 12 schools, we all play on the same team. Many of our students are parents of young people who attend school in the district. When our students increase their communication skills, their educational and professional levels, it impacts their children's education. When students can't finish their high school diploma at James Logan or Connolly, we provide a welcoming and tailored option. Our principal works at our site in addition to James Logan and Connolly. And naturally, adult school teachers are NHTA members. We are certificated and holders of higher degrees. But as you know, we are currently treated very differently than other teachers in the district, which makes teacher recruitment and retention challenging. Case in point, before the pandemic, we offered 17 ESL classes. Today, we offer a total of 9. And let's be clear, this is not because of a lack of demand in our community. Our classes are overflowing. Personally, I've had over 50 students enrolled in my intermediate class for multiple quarters in a row. And our overall student enrollment numbers are increasing. But at this time, we cannot recruit enough teachers to open more classes. For this reason, we have combined levels and recently had to drop our morning literacy class. While it is a joy to work at the adult school, most teachers cannot afford to live in the area and work here while holding only one job. The district has stated that they want the adult school to be self-sufficient. But if we can't hire more teachers, we can't increase our enrollment, which is how we get money from other funding sources. So this becomes a catch-22. No teachers, no students, no income. Supporting a fair contract for adult school teachers that will elevate their position to that of other district teachers will reflect our values of diversity and equity through an investment in free public education for adults to fill what would otherwise be a gap in educational opportunities in our community. Thank you for using all your power to push for a strong and generous contract for adult school teachers. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker.
Claudia Padilla. Next speaker is Claudia Padilla. Claudia? Oh, Claudia.
That's okay.
Okay. All right. Next speaker is Wen-Ching Ha.
Hello, good evening. My name is Wen-Ching Ha. I came from Taiwan 3 years ago. New Haven Adult School is very important to me. I used to be like a deaf old woman who couldn't listen. I was like a mute who couldn't speak. I didn't want to go out and talk to strangers because I couldn't listen or speak English. I feel helpless, especially when I got sick. Today, I have more courage to go shopping and talk because I came to New Haven Adult School to study. I became confident. I am grateful to the school for giving me the opportunity to study English. I appreciate the school board hiring such capable teachers. The teachers help people like me to be productive members in Unicity. Thank you, school board, for supporting the adult school and the teachers. I'm confident and courageous today because of the adult school. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Our next speaker.
Leslie DeFranco.
Good evening, school board and everyone else. My name is Leslie DeFranco. I'm an instructor at New Haven Adult School and have been for the last 19 years. I'm in the computer program area. It's really important for you, the board, to know that many of our ESL students are also parents of children that are in the school district. The programs are helping students learn English, but there's also the computer program that can help them learn how to type, we also have reading involved in that, but how to email, Google Docs. These are programs, unfortunately, I think we are the best kept secret in Union City. We don't want to be the best kept secret in Union City. We want everyone to know that we have basic computers there. Yes, there are minimum requirements, 3rd grade reading and type 10 words per minute to get into the email or Google Docs class. But guess what? If you don't meet those requirements, you're in the right place because we offer a free online typing program to increase their speed. We offer a free reading comprehension program to increase their reading scores. So it's a really great place to start. It helps them with the emailing and with their English to be able to communicate with their teachers. We also have the high school program, the citizenship, the ESL, adult basic education, but what has been mentioned, oh my gosh, we need the teachers. So I'll just say, I hope that the district will continue to support a fair contract for the adult school teachers, similar to what the other teachers have in the district. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next speaker, last speaker.
Moises Lanusa.
Hello, good evening. My name is Moises Manrique Lanusa Contreras. I'm from El Salvador too. I'm a student in Adelaide School. I've been studying at Adelaide School for a few months now. There, I've made very good classmates, and we all learn together every day. My goals are to learn the English language very well, so that I can get a good job and thus give a better quality of my life and my life to family. In the other school, I've met nice teacher. One is the Miss Barrio. She is so nice. For this reason, I asked for a fair contract for other school teachers. Also, I ask you to continue to financially support the other school. Thank you for listening. Have a good one.
Thank you. Are there any speakers on Zoom? Okay. Thank you. So we'll go ahead to public or blue card, public comments for items that are on the agenda. Are there any speakers?
No speakers.
And no speakers in Zoom. Thank you. All right, so we'll go ahead to our president's report here, our labor partners. Do we have our president from CSEA tonight? Do not see. So we'll go on to our NHTA labor partner, Joe Angeles.
Good evening, President Gonzalez, Vice President Core, trustees, student trustees, Dr. Thompson, district staff, teachers and staff in the gallery, students as well, and those at home. Again, I just want to share, as you know, we are in the midst of contract negotiations, which is always a complicated conversation because there are so many elements of the conversation. I think one of the things that we found out in the recent years of having a chance to really reflect on what's happening here in New Haven, some of the programs have been kind of in an odd way neglected, not really looking at the detail of how that service is provided. In particular, special ed is one of our main conversations. How do we get a better service for those students with the services that we have and the resources we have? The other part we're talking as well is the fact that some of our special areas of service, such as speech language pathologists, their compensation packages are not on par with those districts around us. So those are some of the elements that we're looking at. And as you heard just recently, the adult school, like they mentioned, is a big agenda on our conversation because, to be honest with you, this is the first time ever that they have a voice in a contract consideration. There has never been since the inception of adult school that program has been represented in this kind of conversation. One of the things that was mentioned here, the attraction of teachers is, of course, how do we compensate? And as we did some comments from around the area here, the current rate for compensation is not up to par as well. So we're looking forward to try to get some movement towards that. We know it's a big task to move everything at once, but I think our conversation has moving along the lines to get some kind of action and change in those areas. I think the other piece about it is that there's so many things that the teachers around the district, both K-12 and adult school, need to have some understanding in what kind of resources we need to make sure they can properly do the learning that was really, again, evidenced by the students here today. There's resources that make it happen. So we're looking forward to those conversations and enhancing those resources for those teachers and providing it to students. The last thing I did want to mention as well is, again, commend the board for the resolution that is on the agenda tonight, the Arab Heritage Resolution and the Asian Pacific Islander Resolution. I think moving along the lines of recognizing communities of color and marginalized people is something that is very much valuable. As you know, NHA has incepted a racial justice committee that is our task as well, to make sure that voice and unawareness is kind of put forefront. And we think even in times where the conversation of those marginalized communities can be controversial, it is recognized that the board has taken a stance, such as the ceasefire consideration. I think that is a voice that's needed to be heard. Sometimes we are silenced by the famous public opinion, but we all know the right thing is the right thing to do. So I appreciate and commend the board for moving along those lines to continue that awareness and support the education that us as RJC, as well as inside the classroom, different programs that we do to kind of enhance that conversation, such as the Ethnic Studies program at Logan High School and the Social Justice Academy at the elementary school. So we look forward for that continued conversation and the resources that it provides and the awareness it provides for both students and communities. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to go on to our recognition presentations and action items. This is 9.1. This is mental health board presentation. Okay.
Okay. Good evening, President Gonzalez, members of the board, Superintendent Thompson, staff, and community. We are here tonight to present information on Daybreak Health, which could be a potential partner that provide mental health services for us for next school year. I'm sorry, can you advance the slide, please? So the telehealth, Daybreak Health will provide telehealth services, and it meets our strategic plan that the board adopted beginning 2024 school year. Under Goal 2, Action Initiative is for us to improve and enhance services that will provide mental health support. And with that, I would like to introduce the Director of Student and Family Services, Marcus Lamp, to explain more about Daybreak.
Good evening, school board. So over the past 3 years, we've expanded and strengthened the support of our the mental health services that we could to support our students in New Haven. There we go. So as you can see on the slides, there are a number of things that we have added to our system to support our students. We really focused on Tier 1 and Tier 2 supports. As a reminder, Tier 1 supports are more universal. These are supports that we would provide to all students in New Haven. An example would be our SEL curricula. Tier 2 supports are supports in which we would provide to students who just need a little bit more. Oftentimes when we had our teachers on special assignments, they would host small groups, they would do check-ins with students. Those types of things would be Tier 2 supports. Tier 3 supports are a little more challenging because these are the types of supports that are more personalized to meet the more intensive needs some students may have. And so we have staff in our system who could provide this support, but it's not necessarily their primary role. In addition, we have community partners that can provide these types of supports, but that's limited by some our partners being at certain school sites, limited by their capacity for the number of students they can support, or even just qualification of students. And so Tier 3 has always been a challenge in terms of a type of support to be able to provide our students. You know, as you can imagine, as you know, the last several years, mental health has been huge in our schools. And we are not mental health providers. So we needed to find something in order to provide that type of support for our students so that they can be better prepared to learn. So Daybreak Health, teletherapy, what is this? Telehealth or teletherapy is basically counseling with a licensed mental health professional through video conferencing format. It's a relatively new format, and it's something that's not traditional in the sense that I think when we think of counseling, we're thinking of face-to-face interactions with a counselor. But this is actually, like I said, this is a new format, and it's actually one that many of our students are used to. Our students, this generation, is used to communicating and interacting with others through a screen. And so while this is new, this may not be the right format for all students, but for other students, it may be. And so we want to make sure we have an opportunity for all students to be able to receive some of these types of mental health services if we can. So in partnering with Daybreak, what they would do is they would be able to provide mental health services to any student that we refer. In addition, Daybreak would not charge the students anything or the families anything. It's covered. And so Daybreak Health basically is a company that employs their own therapists. And their therapists are licensed and skilled in addressing a variety of mental health challenges, ranging from interpersonal relationships, substance abuse, grief and loss, family situations, and other internal challenges that students face, including anxiety, depression, trauma. Daybreak Health also employs 70% of their therapists as Black, Indigenous, or other people of color. In addition, many of their therapists are bilingual, and currently they offer therapy in over 15 languages, which includes Spanish, Mandarin, Cantonese, Vietnamese, Farsi, and Hindi, which are very common languages in New Haven right now. And in talking with Daybreak, they are also very committed to finding out what other languages we may need to have addressed and look for some therapists that can support those languages as well. There are several providers that provide this type of teletherapy out there, but what drew us to Daybreak is the fact that they have a universal screener. And what the universal screener is it's like a questionnaire. And so this questionnaire is available for us to provide to our 4th through 12th graders twice a year. And so students would go ahead and fill out the survey, answering questions similar to what's presented here. And Daybreak would actually take that data, analyze it, and come back and meet with each of our schools and identify students who they believe need certain levels or certain tiers of intervention. They might identify students who might need the Tier 1 interventions. They might identify students who need Tier 2 interventions, and then they would make some recommendations for who they think could benefit from Tier 3 interventions, which is what Daybreak Health provides in teletherapy. So basically, whether they refer them because of the results of the universal screener, or whether a student comes up in our coordination of services team, or whether a parent comes and says, hey, I'm trying to find some sort of counseling services for my child, we can make a referral to Daybreak Health. We'll let Daybreak Health know that, hey, this student is seeking some sort of mental health support. They will go ahead and schedule an intake with the family and basically find out a little bit more about the needs and connect that student, if the family is willing, with teletherapy. And then teletherapy starts. And again, there's no cost to the families. And what Daybreak Health does is they will go ahead and ask families if they have insurance. If a family has insurance, on the back end, they will reach out to the insurance company and they'll do the kind of the negotiating to try to get reimbursed from that insurance company. If a family doesn't have insurance, not a problem, they're still served. If a family's insurance rejects sort of kind of the payment to Daybreak Health, it's not a problem. They'll continue with the services with Daybreak Health. The coverage and the services are basically what we pay for. So in researching and looking into telehealth, like I said, it's relatively new. I had the opportunity to speak with several different districts across California who currently implement something like this. Some of the benefits that I found were that obviously no cost to families. It's a great bonus. Districts reported that there is definitely an increase in the number of mental health services they could provide, especially at the tier 3 level. What's nice about Daybreak Health is that they can provide teletherapy at home or in school. A majority of the students actually opt to do that at home, which is fine. But I learned that there are a number of students who, because of the living situations, because of the lack of privacy, it's hard for them to do it at home. And so we're going to be able to provide them the opportunity to do that at school. Like I mentioned earlier, this is not a traditional format for counseling. I think a lot of us growing up probably are familiar with going to an office, meeting with a counselor face to face. And oftentimes when we think about telehealth, we're like, okay, how is this going to be effective on screen? Keeping in mind our generation of students is very familiar with this. And what districts actually reported to me is that students really appreciated it. They really found it effective. So much that there are a couple of districts that reported that students became ambassadors for the promotion of the telehealth with their peers. So I thought that was a positive. Obviously, benefit is having this screener, which Daybreak Health does provide that other providers don't. And then one other district in Alameda County actually currently works with Daybreak. And Alameda County of Education also is working on getting into a partnership with them as well. So we're, at least there's 3 of us in Alameda County that would be implementing this. Some things that we did learn is that if we're going to work with Daybreak Health, we need to think about how we're going to coordinate this, which includes scheduling at school, finding private spaces for students, and having protocols in place in the rare occasion that a session may not go well. There are protocols in which a therapist would contact a school and somebody would check in with the student to make sure that they're doing okay after a session. But from what I hear, that's not very common at all. But again, it's a safeguard we need to have and prepare for. In addition, promoting awareness of the fact that we have this service, and also parent education. I think there's a lot of stigma with therapy, but just really thinking about how do we roll this out, how do we promote this is going to be very important. So those are things for us to really consider. So the cost. So we're looking to enter a partnership with Daybreak Health for the year 2020, for school year 2024-2025. It's going to cost us less than $100,000. They charge $10 per student in the district. Ms. Stevens and I partnered with the New Haven Schools Foundation to reach out to Kaiser Permanente, and we are in the process of securing a grant from them that will fund a significant amount of this $100,000. And so we're still in the process of getting that finalized, but we are really grateful to have these types of partnerships so that we can try to bring something into New Haven to test out and to see how it works, and hopefully it's successful and provides more support for our students. So tonight we are asking you to consider this and to approve a partnership, the contract with Daybreak Health. And if so, we would go ahead and get started with planning for implementing this by the start of August. So we have it in place for the 2024 school year. And that would include, rolling it out would include training our staff and just getting communications out to our community and promoting it. So I think said a lot about this, and thank you. Do you have any questions?
Yes. First hand I seen over there was Trustee Rafe.
Thank you. So I was wondering, in SENC, like Seneca, is that how you call it? The partnership, it has SILS, Emmanuel, Hillview Crest, and CCMS. Slide.
I think,
That's the third slide, is it?
I think it was a slide that showed that we had Seneca,
Yeah.
So Seneca is a partner, a community partner we have, but they only operate in certain schools.
Just wondering, so why only these 4 schools? Like, it cannot go beyond these 4 schools or?
For Seneca, you mean?
Yeah.
Part of it is just their capacity and just the populations that Seneca will serve. Seneca also operates off of serving students with Medi-Cal, only with Medi-Cal.
I see.
And so that's why it mentioned that there are some restrictions in terms of who qualifies.
I see. And for the teletherapy, I was wondering, is it for NHUSD students only, or like the families can also benefit from this? Like,
The telehealth?
yeah,
Yeah, the telehealth would only be for New Haven students.
I see.
Yes.
And
Oh, you know what? One thing I think I did I skip a
You
slide?
skipped a slide, so I wanted to go back
Sorry.
and talk a little bit about family therapy as well as individual therapy, but I need help with clicking. If we could go back to the slide, please. I could tell you which slide.
Oh, here we go. Oh, this one right here. Thank you. So I apologize. I totally skipped over this slide. So Daybreak Health will provide therapy for essentially almost all of our students. Because we have TKs that are 4, they don't necessarily provide services for 4-year-olds, but from 5 to 19. And what we really appreciate about Daybreak's approach to therapy is that for our younger elementary schools, or for our elementary school students, those from age 5 to 12, they take the approach of doing family therapy because they don't believe that it's appropriate to necessarily meet with 5, 6, 7-year-old individually, because just of what therapy is and sessions can be. And so they will require families to be involved, which is always great. Notice it says for individual therapy for 10 through 19, for those elementary students that are a little bit older, if it's determined that they're a little bit more mature or meeting individually is appropriate, Daybreak will allow that. But of course, some of the older kids, it's individual therapy. So middle school students, generally, they don't do family therapy, they'll do individual therapy. And on this slide, you'll see a number of just some of the topics that they might address with students, or the types of challenges students may face that they would work with students on.
so do they have a choice? The students like to go with family, or like they just say like, okay, after this age, it's only student and them for the therapy, or like the family has a choice to go as a family, even when the kid is beyond the age of, let's say, 14?
That's a question I'd have to ask them. But from my understanding, the therapy really is just for the students, because I did ask, can families, with Care Solace, we were able to connect families or staff with different types of mental health services. But for this type of therapy, it's just for our students. And so my thinking is that as the kids are older, it's more individual therapy because you're dealing with just the student and not necessarily the family situation. However, that's something I could definitely ask and look into.
And are these after, so like is this service provided after school hours also?
It depends. Generally, for at-home services, it would be after school, or I believe Daybreak will operate up until 8 o'clock at night for doing appointments. But if a student opts to have services at school, it would be during the school day.
Thank you.
Sorry, I also want to highlight that one of the things that attract us to this opportunity is that right now, some of our students who do have insurance and are able to secure counseling services sometimes don't have a choice of when they're available. So they may have to leave school within the day to attend certain days of the week. So by providing this either at home or in school, allows students to increase their attendance and will hopefully in turn increase their achievement. So it's another way for us to provide services in the space of learning, so they don't have to leave school to receive these services where they may not have as much opportunity. Okay.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Vice President Kumar?
Thank you. This is great. I'm really excited about this.
Too, yeah.
And I'd love to hear more at the end of the year and see how it went. So I assume all students take the survey, correct?
The universal screener?
Yes,
Yes, we
the-
would give
the
it to all of our
screener.
students.
So if there are students who seem to need the service but are not comfortable with video therapy, do we have a plan in place to help those students?
For in-person services, we'd probably have to continue to use Care Solace
Okay.
to connect them with just in-person, services.
Okay. And so do we have a clear referral process outlined, and at what point will that be shared with families so they're aware of how this goes?
Can you repeat that? I'm
Do
sorry.
we have a clear process outlined in terms of how the referral takes place, and when is that shared with families?
Yeah, so as soon as if we get approved tonight, we'll go ahead and contact Daybreak Health and really start planning for all of that. What they'll do is they'll come in and work with us to think about how do we roll this out to our families? How do we communicate this? And how do we internally develop those structures so that the infrastructure for being able to make referrals, for serving students and for communicating with our families. And so we don't have the clear plan just yet, but that's kind of what we're looking to do between now and end of July.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, are there any questions or comments there? Okay, Trustee Hernandez?
Thank you so much for looking into this program. I'm really also excited about it as well. It's a long time coming and this sounds really great. Thank you to my fellow trustees. I also had big questions regarding the relationship between therapist and parents. I am interested to see how that is rolled out with referral with 10 through 19. I'm wondering in the case of a student not wanting their parents to know what that would look like. So these are small details, I'm sure rare occurrences as well that may occur, but they very well could be possible. I'm wondering what sessions would look like if possible during the summertime. Will it just be during the school year that students will have access to this?
Just to address a couple of your questions. One, in order to provide services to our students through this, through forum in a platform of telehealth, parents would have to provide consent. One of the questions earlier was about whether it's family or individual. So a lot of these areas of support that our students need require strategies for them to develop around self-cope and self-monitoring and to self-regulate. So a lot of it is direct services to the students when their parents aren't there. So if they have anxiety when they're in school, and their parents can't be and come and sit in school with them, the point is for the counseling services to equip them with strategies to cope with the anxiety in school and be successful. So a lot of that is direct services. For our primary students, where it's more of a preventative piece when we're looking at onset anxiety, the services are more about what the family could do to identify it at home and support us because of the maturity level. The students need more family guidance. So it's a little bit more tailored as Mr. Lamb has shared, but it is very much dependent on parent approval for us to provide the services. And in saying all that, I forgot your last question. So if you don't mind restating.
It was a lot. Thank you. I was wondering about summer, during the summertime.
One of the things that we're looking at in signing the contract is a year-long process. So we know while we offer summer programs and services, so those students will have direct access to the services. One of the things that we want to be able to work out with Daybreak is either a referral process or an extension of services into summer. So if somebody was in mid-service in May, for example, end of May, and there are more counseling sessions left, we want to make sure we coordinate that, perhaps if for it to be delivered in that at home in the summer. So one of the pieces that we're going to work out is what happens when students are in need of counseling in the month of June and they're not in one of our summer programs. How do they access? So this is one of the areas that we'll work with Daybreak. And if Daybreak can't provide this service, we'll look for another service provider as an opportunity.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Are there any other questions or comments there? Okay, Trustee Rappe?
Is there a cap on how many sessions can a student take?
Yeah, so their model is that they usually provide about 12 sessions because it's considered this type of support isn't supposed to be long-term counseling. So they'll provide up to 12 sessions for a student. If a student is needing more, what they will do is they will help the student they'll help the family to either connect to a local provider, or they will actually continue the service with the families. The only caveat with that is that it would not come under the contract of our contract. So it would have to come from their own insurance or out of pocket or whatever that might be. But you know, a lot of the support they provide, they believe they can help kids, students develop strategies and coping strategies within those 12 sessions.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments there? I just want to echo what my colleagues said. They're right on with their questions there. They kind of answered mine. But this sounds like a dream. This sounds wonderful, and it just made me reflect on how New Haven is ahead of other districts on important issues. And I know the school district I work for, just some of the things like I wish I had this for our district. But in my 20 years in education, I'm a little weary though. It sounds too good. You know, there might be, you know, we would be the second in Alameda County to roll this out. So I just hope everything goes well. You know, it sounds great, and I'm have really good positive intentions that this is positive vibes that this is gonna be a great program for our students, so in our community. Thank you. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and informational items. I'm gonna go ahead and start on all the way to my far right and then work my way to the left here. So our student trustee, Daniel Perez, go ahead.
Okay, so at Colony Carabello High School, currently right now is state testing. And then just recently we had our college and career fair. And I personally attended and enjoyed culinary, Job Corp, DJing, and BART. And then one of the colleges that I attended, Miller College, which is a school that provides programs for barbers and cosmetology. They are offering an open house just for Colony students. So Thursday from 5 to 8 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Hernandez?
Sorry. I was able to attend CCMH's open house this past on the 11th. It was really great turnout. It was really nice to see the admin, and I had really great feedback from a handful of parents that had really great things to say about the school. Thank you.
Trustee Nishera?
Yes. So yesterday at Kitayama Elementary, I attended a rally and I helped kick off Stop Waste came to our campus and taught the kids all about recycling, how to properly sort with the tricolored sorting bins. Stop Waste will be at Kitayama all this week. They're doing a waste sorting audit to see how well our students and staff are handling solid waste. So that was yesterday. Today, I was at a somewhat related meeting at Stop Waste in Oakland. It was really around public agencies and their involvement in sustainability goals. I had mentioned to them that this board approved strategic goal number 5 around sustainability and how we're still figuring out our action plans and goals around that. Last week, Vice President Kumar and I were in Washington DC at the CSBA Federal Advocacy Trip. I will be providing a written report to this board. I just haven't had enough time to actually collect it all together. A lot of the same issues, the advocacy issues were very similar between this year and last year. The area that our region decided to focus on, it was ourselves, so our district, as well as a trustee from San Leandro Unified and the superintendent of San Lorenzo. We met with our Congress member of the 14th district. We talked about full funding for special education, for which our congressman is supportive of. We also talked about cybersecurity and also the E-rate reauthorization. We seem to be really aligned there, and it looks like it looks like we were preaching to the choir. So I think Congressman Swalwell gets it. After we covered all the items that we were slated to cover as a part of our advocacy trip, the congressman shifted towards AI in the classroom. And that is something that we did get some materials as a part of our preparation to talk about that. I will be forwarding as a follow-up to the congressman some information that we gathered at the advocacy trip. And that also kind of emphasizes the fact that, that having practices and policies that fall in line with that and are aligned with teaching and learning is going to be very, very important moving forward. Other than that, I'll stop my remarks there.
Thank you. Trustee Rappe?
So I too had the opportunity of attending the open houses. I was at IVCMS and also at Pioneer Elementary. At IVCMS, they had a two-pay team who were doing the tobacco trivia, and it was like really exciting to see them. And so it is great to see the support our students get in educating each other, as well as about the health and about the hazards of smoking, and the teachers were also very supportive over there. And then at Pioneer Open House, I had the opportunity to learn from the teachers over there about the resources that are available to our NHUSD families, like anything from diapers, from books, from all kind of resources that the school provides to all the families of our district. So that's all for now. Thank you.
Thank you. Vice President Kumar?
Thank you. So I also attended the open house at Easton, and it was a great experience as always. I attended the Coast to Coast conference. I will not repeat what Trustee Nishihira shared because we don't need to hear it twice, but I will just add to it. I wanted to thank Dr. Thompson and his staff for sending me those numbers that night. We had to prepare and strategize that we had one day to work on it, and we really wanted district numbers so we can talk to the congressman. We also got a story from one of our special ed teachers at Alvarado Elementary, which really helped. Sharing these personal stories makes a big difference. So we did share that we spend 38 million annually on special ed, and 22 million of that is funded by our general fund, which has a huge impact on us being able to balance our budget and provide quality education. And I think that really worked. I did hear back from the congressman's office the next day, so that's great. I've been following up. I also shared with Dr. Thompson some takeaways. I did attend a talk on AI there, and there were two big things there. One is they are pushing for professional development for constructive uses of AI for teachers. I shared that with Dr. Thompson. And also they are recommending that the district adopt some sort of guidelines around the use of AI. And then they had a good example of a good starting point from North Carolina. I did share that as well with Dr. Thompson. I don't know if you had a chance to see it, but it's with him at this point. That was that. NHSF has kept me busy. Fund Run is coming up on New Haven Day. Our registrations are phenomenal. We're at a record 188 participants as of today, which is amazing, but it's also a lot of work. And then last night we judged our Earth Day poster contest. It's always lovely to see all the talent in our school district. It was really hard. It took us an hour to finalize the winners. They were so good. But yeah, we did that and I'm excited. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you. welcome back, New Haven from spring break, well-deserved rest. It is testing time, one of the most stressful times of the year. I'll be testing in a couple of weeks. I know New Haven's in full swing and test mode, and very stressful for not only the staff and of course the students that are actually taking the test. So I did, along with Superintendent Thompson, we went to the varsity softball game, Logan. They played Newark Memorial, and they shut them out. And they did really well, and it's just great to see how the softball, the varsity, how many players that are actually going to universities from there, going to go play around California and other parts of the country because of softball and good grades. What wasn't mentioned tonight at Logan was this Saturday is the senior prom happening at the San Francisco Exploratorium. So that's exciting. My niece is going. And other than that, I have nothing else to offer, but this is a very short window to end of the school year. It's in a blink of an eye, it's going to end, and you're going to be on summer. I am in my own district, Hayward, we are ratifying our contract, and so that's a good feeling for everybody once it is all taken care of there. So that concludes my report.
Okay, just a couple of things to add. It is that time of year, open houses. The New Haven Day for us really kicks off our end of the year activities, and I'm excited to hear about the fun run. I know Vice President Kumar, that's due primarily to your efforts to really move that forward, and so we appreciate that. It's going to be bigger and better this year. We have more participants, more community members, a full day of music, food trucks, fantastic fun run. So on the 27th, we hope to see everybody there. It's going to be a good day. And I'm looking forward to the end of the year. Oh, this is my favorite time of year. It's the craziest and the busiest time of year, but it's my favorite time of year. So 5 weeks and we'll be going to graduation. Anyway, that's it for me. Thanks.
All right. We're going to move on to 10.2. This is a required quarterly report regarding complaints filed under the Williams complaint procedure. This is the 2023-24 quarter 3 report. Is Ms. Stevens going to report on it?
I can just comment. There's nothing to report. We had no complaints.
Beautiful. All right, committee reports. Starting off with the, this is the Finance and Technology and Facilities Committee. We will be meeting, our next one is scheduled for May 28th. Okay. And then we have for the Communication and Advocacy Committee. Okay. Vice President Kumar.
Is that okay? So we met this past week on the 11th of April. We continued our discussion on the April resolution, and we have it on action item today. We reviewed our ad campaigns, so that was interesting. We are considering advertising at Southland Mall. We're still looking into it. And our next meeting is scheduled for Thursday, May 9th at 4 p.m. as of now. Do you want to add anything else to that? Just finishing?
That was it. You got it all.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, and this is for Policy Review Committee. We will be meeting next week, April 23rd. Okay, and then any other committee reports? Oh, yes, Vice President Kumar, and then Rafe.
So I'd like to report out from New Haven School Foundation. We had a record-breaking year in terms of grants. You probably saw the email today. We've given out $108,000 worth of grants to our teachers, which is amazing. 67 grants were funded out of 85. Which is incredible. And then what else? We have our fun run coming up, and we have the scholarship luncheon that's coming up. We've reviewed scholarship applications. I know Trustee Nishihira was also working on that. And I'm really happy to share that the number of applicants has increased. We did have some concerns last year where we had fewer applicants, so that's been great. Our next meeting is May 20th at 6 p.m.
Only thing to add there was the number that we have right now in terms of the dollars that will be given out in scholarships, just as $238,000 is what we is the latest number that I got from our executive director. So that's amazing. The GPAs are up. The community service hours are up, and the essays were really well done and had a lot of optimism in them. So it was very hard to decide. And part of the reason why that number is so high is because so many people, like for example, my scholarship, we couldn't actually decide, so we just gave 2 scholarships. And I think that's actually a relatively common thing. So that's probably how the number got to be where it is. So we've got great students. So
Wonderful. Hey, Trustee Rafe?
So it's the first time that I'm not able to read the applications because my daughter is a senior. So but excitingly, next year I will be able to read the foundation's applications. And we had 2 meetings in the last month. SELPA, Mission Valley SELPA, which is, our meeting was on March 12th. We discussed the first draft of the local plan, no substantial changes, but it is due every 3 years to CDE. The structure for Mission Valley SELPA stays the same. Each district provides its own services, and the exception that all 3 districts agree that FUSD will provide services for infants. We will vote on it on June 11th. End of the year SELPA events are Special Education Recognition Award event on April 29th at Fremont Event Center, and Special Olympics on May 10th at James Logan High School. And then the next is Mission ROP. So on April 11th, we had attended the Mission Valley ROP JPA meeting. Superintendent Hansen shared that ROP is hosting at Washington High School, the car show on May 11th, this year. And also this year, 149 students will be honored during the ROP Student of the Year ceremony on May 9th. ROP is currently in the process of fundraising and coordinating 11 $500 student scholarships, and one of the 11 scholarships is for continuation high school students. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, that concludes our committee reports. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Vice President Kumar to preside over the action items.
Thank you, President Gonzalez. Moving on to action items. Item 12.1, may I have a volunteer to read out resolution number 0582324, the Arab American Heritage Month? Trustee Rafe?
Whereas the New Haven Unified School District recognizes the diverse cultural fabric of our community and the importance of celebrating the contributions of all members, and whereas Arab American Heritage Month provides an opportunity to honor the rich history, culture, and achievements of Arab Americans who have played integral roles in shaping our nation's identity and progress, and whereas Arab Americans have made significant contributions to various fields, including but not limited to science, literature, art, music, education, business, and public service, enriching the tapestry of American society. And whereas the majority of Arab Americans adhere to the Islamic faith and Muslim traditions, practices, and celebrations are ingrained in the rich and complex fabric of Arab American culture. And whereas the history of Arab Americans and American life often remains neglected or defaced by misunderstanding, bigotry, and anti-Arab or anti-Muslim hate in the form of crimes and speech. And whereas issues currently affecting Arab Americans, such as civil rights abuses, harmful stereotyping, harassment, and bullying, are combated by education and awareness. And whereas Arab American Heritage Month serves as an occasion to promote cross-cultural understanding, respect, and appreciation among students, educators, and community members, including those Muslim and non-Muslim Arab Americans. Therefore, be it resolved that the New Haven Unified School District Board of Education officially recognizes the month of April as Arab American Heritage Month in our schools, acknowledging the rich cultural heritage and contributions of Arab Americans. Be it further resolved that the school district will strive to create a welcoming and inclusive environment for Arab American and Muslim students and families, where their cultures, traditions, and identities are respected and valued. Be it finally resolved that during this month, educators are encouraged in incorporate lessons, activities, and events that highlight the history, contributions, and experiences of Arab Americans into their curriculum, promoting cultural understanding and appreciation among students. Passed and adopted by Governing Board of Education of New Haven Unified School District, County of Alameda, the 16th day of April, 2024, by the following vote.
Thank you, Trustee Rafai. May I have a motion and second to approve resolution number 058-2324, Arab American Heritage Month?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Abstentions? Motion carries. Moving on to item 12.2, may I have a volunteer to read out resolution number 059-2324, Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month? Trustee Nishihiro?
Whereas Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders account for nearly 50% of our New Haven Unified School District students, which include Asian Indians, Cambodians, Chinese, Filipino, Guamanian, Hawaiian, Hmong, Japanese, Korean, Laotian, Vietnamese, and other Asian and other Pacific Islander students. And whereas Asian Americans and Pacific Islander communities are immensely diverse, consisting of multiple ethnicities, hundreds of language and dialects, wide-ranging socioeconomic characteristics, and distinct immigration patterns. And whereas Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders have played a significant role in shaping the social, cultural, and economic fabric of our society, contributing to fields such as science, technology, arts, literature, business, politics, and education. And whereas Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders are all vulnerable to the growing number of xenophobia-fueled attacks, as evidenced by a dramatic increase in reports of hate crimes against those of Asian descent. And whereas the month of May was selected for Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month because the first Japanese immigrants arrived in the United States on May 7th, 1843, and the first transcontinental railroad was completed on May 10th, 1869, with substantial contributions from Chinese immigrants. Therefore, be it resolved that the New Haven Unified School District commits to promoting diversity, equity, and inclusion within our schools and denounces and condemns racism, xenophobia, discrimination, and any other form of anti-Asian sentiment. Therefore, be it further resolved that the New Haven Unified School District hereby proclaims May as Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month in our schools and encourages all schools within the district to organize educational and celebratory activities that highlight the achievements, cultures, and contributions of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders. Passed and adopted by the Governing Board of Education of the New Haven Unified School District, County of Alameda, the 16th day of April, 2024.
Thank you, Trustee Nishihiro. May I have a motion and second to approve resolution number 059-2324, Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month?
I move.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Abstentions? Motion carries. Item 12.3. So we have many of our employees here and we wouldn't be here if not for you. So may I have a volunteer to read out resolution number 057-2324, Employee Appreciation Month? Trustee Hernandez, thank you.
New Haven Employee Appreciation Month, May 2024. whereas all school employees provide valuable services to students, families, and fellow staff members to support the schools of the New Haven Unified School District, and whereas all school district employees play a vital role in providing for students' welfare and school safety of New Haven Unified School District, and whereas all student district employees employed by the New Haven Unified School District have achieved excellence in their responsibilities, and whereas the California Department of Education recognizes May 1st as School Principals Day, and whereas the California Department of Education and the National Education Association, NEA, recognize May 6th through 10th as National Teacher Appreciation Week, and whereas the California Department of Education and the California School Employee Association, CSEA, recognize May 19th through the 25th as Classified School Employees Week, and whereas all school district employees deserve rightful recognition and, excuse me, public celebration for the caring deeds and immeasurable contributions they have made to the New Haven Unified School District. And whereas the New Haven Unified School District Board of Education recognizes the outstanding professional excellence of all the district's classified, certified, and management staff members and desires to celebrate them all month long. And whereas the New Haven Unified School District will recognize May 1st through May 31st as Employee Appreciation Month, and now therefore be it resolved that the New Haven Unified School District Board of Education hereby recognizes Employee Appreciation Month. The New Haven Unified School District will recognize Employee Appreciation Month beginning May 1st through May 31st, 2024, passed and adopt this 16th day of April 2024 by the following roll call. Vote.
Thank you, Trustee Hernandez. May I have a motion and second to approve resolution number 057-2324, Employee Appreciation Month?
I move.
Second. Discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Abstentions? Motion carries. There we go. All right, we're moving on to item 12.4. May I have a motion and second to approve resolution number 056-2324, Declaration of Need for Fully Qualified Educators?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Abstentions? Motion carries. Item 12.5, may I have a motion and second to approve the school year calendar for 2024-25 and 25-26?
I'd like to move.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Abstentions? Motion carries. Item 12.6, may I have a motion and second to approve the memorandum of understanding between New Haven Unified School District and California State Employee Association, CSEA, for paraprofessionals?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed say nay. Abstentions? Motion carries. Item 12.7, may I have a motion and second to approve the memorandum of understanding between New Haven Unified School District and California State Employee Association, CSEA, for Dakota School for Independent Study?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Abstentions? Motion carries. Item 12.8, may I have a motion and second to approve the memorandum of understanding with Western Governors University?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Abstentions? Motion carries. Item 12.9, may I have a motion and second to approve the service agreement with Daybreak Medical PC, DBA Daybreak Health, 2024-25?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Abstentions? Motion carries. Item 12.10, may I have a motion and second to approve the memorandum of understanding with Cognitive Connections Educational Psychology, Inc. for 2023-24?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Abstentions? Motion carries. Item 12.11, may I have a motion and second to approve resolution number 0552324, approval of the purchase of Dell computers.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Abstentions? Motion carries. Item 12.12, may I have a motion and second to approve the proposed calendar of regular board meetings 2024-25.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
I'd like to add one thing. We needed to make a last minute edit. If you look at September, we moved the board meeting from the 17th to the 10th. We have a statutory requirement to approve the unaudited actuals before the 15th. So it was an error and we fixed that. Just a note.
Thank you.
So the motion and second would be to approve the proposed calendar with the said amendment. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Abstentions? Motion carries. Item 12.13, our board has been requested to cast our vote for the CSBA 2024 Delegate Assembly runoff election. The runoff delegates are Dolly Adams from Castro Valley USD, Ryle Lalonde from Alameda USD, Gary Lim from Alameda USD, and Jackie Pearl from San Leandro USD. Would any board member like to make a motion to nominate one of the candidates? Trustee Gonzalez?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion for Dolly Adams. She is, of course, in Castro Valley board member, but she is a lifelong educator, special education teacher. And so.
Thank you. Can we have a second?
Second.
Can we do a roll call vote for this, please?
Aye.
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 All right, moving on to item 13. Are there any items from the consent agenda that any board member would like to pull for a separate vote? All right, seeing none, may I have a motion and second to approve items 13.1 through 13.23?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Abstentions? Motion carries. Moving on to item 14, since there was nothing removed from consent agenda, we can move on to item 15. Back to you, President Gonzalez.
Okay, thank you, Vice President Kumar. We're on governance review assessment. Any comments? Okay, hearing none, go ahead. Actually, one thing I do want to mention, in closed session, Trustee Nishihara, I hope when I said, I said Lance, it means this one. I hope I wasn't overstepping there. Okay, you were offended. Okay, so that's it.
Can I add one thing? So we used to do this thing where we had one trustee would always move and one would second it. It was just more efficient. Maybe can we decide on that
I
going
think it's
forward?
a good idea.
Can we go back to doing that? So does anyone want to volunteer to move and second whenever? Okay, and then trustee.
I can volunteer
Okay,
for you to move.
to move?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we need a second person.
I can do that. Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
There you go.
If I can just add one thing too. So next Tuesday at 5:30, we have our governance session. So I'll send out a list of the topics I've been curating over time and I'll send those out tomorrow. If you have anything you'd like to add, we can add it to the agenda. But that's next Tuesday at 5:30.
Okay, now we are on 16. This is board members' requests, consensus. Yes, Trustee Ruffey, go ahead.
So I would like to ask for the maximum 5% raise to the board trustees.
Okay, is that consensus? This is the time of the year usually they ask, yes. Do we have consensus on that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, are there any other board member requests? Okay. All right, we'll go ahead and adjourn at 8:02.